Hi, everyone. Let's see who is coming on. Hey, guys. I dropped my phone. I wanted to play a little smooth jazz. Who's here? Who's here? Who's on? Let's Chat Tuesdays. Let's see. Hey, Amira. Got my little support team, right? Who's here? Who's here? Who's in the chat? Let's see. Just waiting for a few more people to join us. Who got their coffees? Look, I didn't realize it was National Coffee Day. I was like, wait a minute. Gotta make sure. My daughter, she made me like a chai latte or something. I was like, we need some real stuff today. Just waiting for a few more people to join us so we can have us a little conversation. We are talking about the pros and cons of social media. And hopefully we have enough people joining us today. I had a lot of people to say that they that it's just a lot going on right now. Some people are in school. My children are on break right now. But people are going back to work and all that good stuff. But we will still continue to do our chats and just have us a little conversation. My daughter and I were talking. Amira, go ahead and she started giving me like her opinion about social media and that sort of thing. But yeah, just waiting for a few more people to join us. We might be chatting with ourselves, which is fine because look, we do that sometimes too, don't we? Yeah. So everybody's got who's got their coffees? Let's see who's got their coffees. Like it is national, I'm gonna say it is national, and then I saw some that said International Coffee Day. We got our coffees. So yeah, we were having a conversation about social media. Is it good? Is it bad? Like, what do you guys think? I'm trying to get a little higher here in my chair. So make sure Amir said me. So yeah, make sure you guys are chatting with me. So we can get the conversation going. Let's see, I'm gonna write in here. So we actually, my friends and I, we always talk about this, the pros and the cons of social media. So basically, as we all know, with social media, we're able to market our brands. We're able to decide whether or not, how we want our brands to look, right? We don't have to wait for someone else to do our marketing for us. We do it ourselves, right? So with that being said, social media is really definitely a way to put yourself out there, in a good way. If you're choosing to, like I said, you have a business or you have a certain agenda. Some people choose to, put politics or religion or, their businesses or things like that out there. Which is totally their right? Because it's their own page. So it's almost like, whatever you want to say, you're able to do that. So it's just putting yourself out there. Another, just to get into like the pros of social media. One is also to connect with other students and other people like in an educational system. Just connecting with friends, communicating. Whoever's here, please let's start chatting. Whoever's in the chat with us this morning, feel free. Tell me who's here and feel free to comment. This is definitely something where it's a lot of different opinions, but when you use social media as a way to communicate, you meet new friends. One thing that I like about it is, I can see who's connected to who, and then I can kind of say, oh, this person. So that's kind of letting me know, the type of kind of social circles that you are involved in or, interact with. So I do like that aspect of social media. Also, who's here? Please chat and tell me who's here, who's in the chat room. Because I want to talk to you guys. We're doing these chat Tuesdays for a reason, because we're here to get different opinions, to, get a conversation going. So yeah, please tell me who's here. So yeah, different opinions on things. It's a way to get surveys. Hi, Taylor. Hi. So just a different way to get different opinions on things with surveys. Also, something that I like is, you can create basically a following or a fan base. And as you're trying to make a name for yourself, things that you're doing, businesses and that sort of thing, you can actually create a fan base. So social media can be a way to create, like this following to support like your brand. If you sell products, if you, have a charity or an organization, social media can really help with that. So, a lot of people are doing these blogs now. Please chat with me, you guys. I have a question. What do you use your social media for? Put it in the chat. I want to hear what people use their social media for. Do you use it as a way to communicate your business ideas, your services? Do you use it to find, family and friends, maybe relatives, communicate with relatives that you haven't seen for a long time, or just to stay in touch? Tell me in the chat, what do you use your social media for? Is it more recreational? Is it more work related? Is it to get a product out there? Please tell me what you use your social media for. Amir says to stay in touch with friends that went to other colleges and communicate with family. Yes, absolutely, Amir. So, Amir, when you say stay in touch, are you having conversations with them, or you just want to look at their stuff? How do you stay in touch with them? Do you, are you DMing them? Are you saying, hey, just how are you doing? Or are you just like, let me just check up on them and look at what they're doing? How are you communicating? How are you staying in touch? And then Taylor Lynn says, expressing myself and for fun. That is awesome. So when you express yourself, Taylor Lynn, how are you expressing yourself? Are you using quotes? Give me some feedback. What do you mean by expressing yourself? Are you doing Are you posting pictures? So Amir says conversations and comments, also seeing the fun things that they're doing at their college. This is actually pretty cool that Amir says that this is how she stays in communication with friends that went to other schools. This is cool because I'm thinking about this is actually really awesome, right? For college students that, back in my day or a long time ago, you kind of would have lost touch with friends that graduated from college or high school when you did. You would have lost touch. They would have went to their school. You would have went to yours, and you would have just seen them at, whenever you come home or at like little functions. So Yasmin says, just for fun. Happy birthday, Yazzie. Let me give Yazzie a little birthday shout out while I'm at it. So, okay, so let's go back to some of the pros. It says you could help somebody with anything on a blog just by stating your opinion. So for people that have these blog sites or blog posts that do blog posts, because they state their opinion, they can help people just by stating that opinion. So someone that might be lost in a certain area, they can actually use their opinion, their blog, to kind of sway them or to even just give information. That's something kind of like what I do. I give more information on beauty, self-care, self-love, that's kind of like my niche. And so that's what I kind of generally give information for. Everybody else that's in the chat, tell me what you use your social media for. What type of do you build your platform? Are you using it just to communicate, just to, you know, make new friends? I've actually have been able to make new friends on my social media, which I think is really cool, especially with the times that we're living in right now with the, you know, everything that's going on in the world. I have connected with certain people, and because I've connected with, you know, the connection is made through a mutual friend. It's so funny. We start talking and we start kind of liking each other's stuff, and we have been able to make friendships with people that we don't really know. And so one of my friends, there's another friend that, you know, we have several of our friends have this one friend. And so one of our friends sees the person on social media and likes her stuff and reads all her stuff. And so we were out the other night at dinner, and we were walking up some stairs to go to the restaurant. And we see our friend. Well, she's already my friend, but my other friend had never met her. And so she's so funny. She's like, I feel like I know her already, because she sees everything that she posts on social media and likes it. And so she's already connected to her, even though they had never met. So that was so funny for them to all make that connection. And then she was able to meet. So tell me, guys, what you use your social media for. What do you use, you know, and what social media platforms do you use? Like, some people don't like this one or that one, but some people generally like this one more. And I think it's all about what you are using it for, which will, you know, basically determine which one you prefer more, right? So it says another pro is, instead of mailing something and having it take a few days to get there, or even paying to mail it, you can go right on the web and have it sent to someone in a matter of seconds. So that's another thing too. You know, instead of having to mail, you could just go right there on you know, their DM or whatever, and you can just have it a quick answer, right? Another thing, like I was just saying, social media can bring people together that are interested in the same things as you are. So, for instance, I keep seeing a social media, I think it's a company, and they keep posting these posts, and I'm actually so I see Cyrus saying entertainment. I'm so actually entertained by those posts that I'm just like, I want to meet this person. So I'm hoping like one day, and we're connected by someone that, you know, is into networking. So I'm like, one day I hope to meet the people that are behind this actual, you know, platform, or this social media group, because they just seem so interesting to me. I'm just wanting to meet whoever is behind that. So, okay. So Cyrus says entertainment. What type of entertainment? Like the funny, you know, posts, the memes, the pranks, the, you know, what type of entertainment? What are we talking about here? You know, the beautiful pictures of all the beautiful women. Like, is that one? He said social awareness and news. Yes, absolutely. So, and social media is all about what your interests are, right? So once you start following this type of you know, media or another type, you get more of it. So it's always like, and I'm like Big Brother's watching, because whatever I search or whatever I start clicking on and liking, then I get lots more of that particular type of post. So it says also an ability to educate others in a different way. So basically, like, social media it's very informative, it's very educational. We're all trying to, you know, learn a little bit more. I think for me also, I use social media. I'm not a person that watches TV like all day. I just don't really ever honestly turn on my TV. So if I'm not getting my news from, you know, the apps that give news, sometimes I'll find out things first on social media. If and I happen to be scrolling, and I hate to say this, but if someone's passed away, or if it's a certain National Siblings Day or National Son, you know, I find those things out first on social media. Okay, so Cyrus says entertainment because people have been so creative and funny, especially during COVID. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Sylvia. So good tidings is here. I was waiting on you, girl. I was talking about you earlier. Happy Tuesday. Let's chat. Hey, happy National Coffee Day to all my coffee lovers out there. I'm like, oh my God. I was looking up coffee and it said, I was looking up like pictures of coffee because I'm going to say, go grab your coffee and let's, have a fun day. And I look it up and it said National Coffee Day. I'm like, well, what day is National Coffee Day? It's today, people. It's today. Tuesday, September 29th is National Coffee Day. And it's the birthday of my youngest born. I'm like, ooh, did I plan that? Did I plan to give birth to my baby on National Coffee Day? 4 kids. I had 4 kids like under the age of 6, I think it was. So yeah, I needed some coffee. I needed some coffee when I had her. So anyway, it says also one of the pros on my list is 60 million. Hi, Melanie. 60 million Americans received help with major life issues, changing jobs, finding a new place to live, buying a car, caring for someone with an illness from people in their social networks in 2006. These people said social networking sites helped them connect with friends and experts who assisted in their decisions. And I think that is really like a major thing for 60 million Americans to receive help with making decisions, changing jobs, fine. I saw a post from one of my friends that's relocating saying, hey, I'm relocating to this city. Does anybody have connections in this area in that city? And it was so funny because I was like, I already knew, and I had already shared with him that who I knew. But I was like, hey, I know someone there that's like could totally link up with you, and you are in the same industry. So I thought that was pretty cool. So for those that just joined us, we are talking about the pros and cons of social media. So we're just trying to get an idea of where everybody stands. Sylvia said it's my day, probably because it's coffee day. But we just want to kind of get like a conversation going. No, Cyrus said, where's the Folgers? No Folgers. No. We only drink gourmet. So listen, we're just talking about the pros and cons. So Amira and I were having this conversation before the chat began. But we were just looking at some other information. It just talks about social media sites are expanding from general interest to more specific uses that benefit society. For example, sites have been created for medical purposes, such as dealing with life-altering diseases, alcoholism, drug addiction, weight loss, autism. So it's going more so from social to more like a business-oriented or just your general interest. There's a lot more business sites. Okay, Melanie said, okay, we got a coffee battle going on. Melanie says she loves Folgers too. She keeps it as a backup. You know what? During COVID, I'm not going to lie. I got scared when we were going out buying everything. I bought my normal coffee that I use, but I also bought like this big tub of Folgers, like Colombian roast or something. So I'm not going to lie. I actually do have Folgers too. So, yeah, I'm not going to flex on that. I have that as a backup as well. And it says also another pro is convenience with mass invitations online to events. So that's out of convenience, people love social media. College can recruit you on videos you put up on social media for sports and other things that you may excel at for college. It says you can blog about your opinions to express yourself in a nonviolent way. So can you all tell me, what do you specifically, I know some people already shared, but what do you believe is the biggest benefit to having social media? What is your opinion of what is the biggest benefit in society of having social media? We went over a few. I just believe also to the connection of people, just to be able to know the mutual friends, just to understand, it's 6 degrees of separation between everyone, on this planet. So you kind of see who you know and who lines up with who. And, especially if you're in a smaller circle of people or a smaller circuit, like you can just make sure, so many. And I love to see, it's so funny to me how I'll watch I'll look at someone's story or their feed. And one of my friends that I didn't know they knew would be in one of the pictures of another friend. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they know each other. So of course, or, someone will tag me on something of a picture that I didn't see of another friend that I didn't know was going to post. So it's really cool to see the connection between everyone. And you see how really closely related or closely connected we are with other people. All right, so we've done a bunch of the pros. Let's go into the cons. Okay, guys, let's go into the cons. What are some of the disadvantages or cons of social media? I want to hear what you guys have to say. What are some things that you do not like about social media? A new thing right now is people are saying they are fasting from social media. They are taking, instead of food or alcohol or whatever, they're taking a social media break. And I've done this from time to time when I've gotten too caught up in posting or looking at posts or just, basically my life is surrounding my social media. I realize that it's time to take a break. All right. So Sire says misinformation. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. My daughter actually was telling me something. And I said, are you sure about that? Look that up, because we saw something. And Sire's right. Misinformation. That is definitely a disadvantage with social media. So this list says making people feel bad about themselves. Now, this is a big one for me. And the reason is, it's a big one for me because I'll talk to people and my friends that may not have children or may not, especially during quarantine, they did not, have a whole lot going on. And they would look at people that had social media, they would look at their pages, and honestly, they would start to feel bad about their own lives. And this really kind of struck me because I'm telling them, like, it's not all true. People stage photos. People, I've gone to events and I hadn't even been there 5 minutes and the person's leaving or whatever. And they'll say, take a few pictures with me. And we'll take a couple pictures. And then later they made a whole motion picture of 2 minutes that we were together. And it's looked like we were there all night having fun. So it's just a matter of people can create the look or the scene that they want to show, the story that they want to project or they want to tell. And, people kind of believe it, and other people are they feel kind of bad. And that to me, that was one of the disadvantages that I don't like about social media, because sometimes it's just not real. Sylvia of Good Tidings says the illusion of connection. That's a big one, Sylvia. You hit the nail on the head with that one, because you feel like you're connected to a person because you see their life every day. You see what they're doing every day. They see you, but you haven't talked to that person in years. So it's just very interesting. And you're right, it is an illusion, because if you haven't seen that person or talked to that person, but you're just seeing their pictures, how are you connected? How are you really connected? That's when, it's time to pick up the phone, or it's time to DM and say, hi, Kiki. It's time to say, listen, we need to meet up. We need to get together, instead of always being on, social media. Let's get together. So I want to know, what's some other disadvantages of social media? Now, obviously, I've been using social media a lot more than I probably ever have. Although I'm a picture taker, I love pictures, I love posting pictures, but I'm using social media now for my business. and my growing my platform. And so I use it a lot more now, but when I used to did not. So a lot of things that I have to do now because of that, it insists that I do use social media more. Sire says it becomes a job that most people are not getting paid for. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a job. It's a job where, you're creating this image, and it's like, are you really benefiting from that? Is it really worth your time? Is being on social media worth your time? Also, I don't want to skip over this one. Cyberbullying. People use social media to, what do they say? Troll and say things really nasty, especially under a different name of people that they don't like. They use it as a way to me, be cowards. They don't want to say it to their face, or they don't want to, so they're using social media to hide behind the screen and type, these like really nasty comments to kids and celebrities and people, and just like, they do the fat shaming and the this and that. And it's a lot of cyberbullying. And Kiki Cooper too says, is it serving your highest good? Absolutely. Are you using it? Are you using social media to work your purpose? Are you using social media to reach people you wouldn't normally reach? One of the cons says hacking into profiles and posting as them. So it's almost like, taking someone's pictures, and then you go and create a whole new, I'm like, these people have too much time on their hands. Like, who has time to go and say, I want to make a fake page and I'm going to look like this person. I want to, portray myself to be this person. I'm like, who has that much time on their hands? This one was actually pretty interesting. This list says the use of social networking sites can cause, and I thought this was very interesting, personality and brain disorders in children, such as the inability to have real conversations, limited attention spans, a need for instant gratification. I want to hear from all the parents out there what you guys think about this. A need for instant gratification, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and self-centered personalities. Wow, right? Now we're really getting to the meat of it. This is definitely something that I didn't really put a lot of thought into, but I knew it did exist because I see how even my own children, they want things like this. They're like, hey, we don't want to wait, Mom. We want it right away. We want it right now. Because they're so used to pressing enter, type, enter, whatever, enter, and it's boom, they get a response, or boom, they get, so it's that instant gratification. And City Box Media is here. Yes. So listen, Marianne, join the chat. We're talking about the cons of social media. And we're talking about, just now we were talking about the children, having some personality and brain disorders, such as the inability to have real conversations, limited attention spans, and when they're on their, devices, you're like, hello, is anybody home? Because, they're just not giving you their attention. It's all, and I'm quick to say, give me the phone. Just give me the phone. Nope, just give me the phone. Because I know I'm not going to have their attention. I know that, not even just that, when they're on social media, it's like, that's all they can focus on. So I know it limits their attention, their attention span. It's little by little, the screen time. I have a friend, and she's on here, Good Tidings. She is like hardcore when it comes to like her children with the screen time. And they'll say, Mom, can we get more? Can we get a little more? Can we get a little more? And it's so cool to me because I'm like, that's actually really awesome, because she's always monitoring how long they're on their devices every single day. And so I thought that was really great that she implemented that. I should have did that a long time ago. I think it's a little hard for me to try that now because my children are so big. But I really thought that that was good. So another con that I was thinking about was when you're out and you want to live in the moment, right? You don't want to miss things. You want to enjoy, your children. You want to enjoy your friends and your family, and then all of a sudden you take a picture and you're like, hold on, I need to post this. Hold on a minute. And it's kind of like the other person's like, well, we're kind of in the moment. And I get that a lot from my children. They're like, Mom, we just want to do what we do. We don't want you to be posting a picture every minute or taking time away from what we're doing, So I get that a lot. So Sire says it's actually a big platform and weapon for the political and hateful division that is cursing this country. Absolutely. So Sire wants to take it to politics. He's right, though. It is a big weapon, and it's almost like you got to take the good with the bad, though, right? It's almost like if you want to use your platform in the way that you want to, we don't have to look at it. If you're saying something that I don't agree with, I can unfollow you. I can, I can choose not to look at it, and I can block you. So that's something that, but he would say, Sire was talking to me about politics coming into different discussions, and it's just where we are. We're in a presidential election year, so people are going to use social media, and yes, it is very divisive. But it's almost like if you aren't hearing something that you want to hear, change the channel, right? So another con that Amira and I were talking about, my daughter, she was saying how people are portraying themselves to look one way. They're using filters and they're altering their faces and they're photoshopping. And I use filters, and I try not to do too much of a filter or too much altering, but I do use them as well. I was a model, and that's what you do. You don't want to show every little thing. You want to soften it out a little bit. But some people are going to the extreme with it, and they are, they call it catfishing, I think it is, and really showing, or catfishing might be using the photos, I'm not sure, but really altering their face. So when you see them in person, they look nothing like the pictures on social media. So you're like, okay, these are some serious filters, right? So I was speaking to my my eldest daughter, Amira, and she said that, she's like, Mom, in Britain, they are proposing a law that especially it's really, she told me it's really geared towards celebrities, but it could be also with people in general. But basically, there's a law that is coming into effect where they call it Photoshop ethics. And basically, if you use Photoshop in your photos on social media or online or whatever, you have to basically put a disclaimer that this picture has been edited with Photoshop, or this picture has been filtered with Photoshop, or something along the lines to let people know that this has been edited. And basically the bottom line, the point to that is, people have been going and getting like all this plastic surgery and going through all these things, and just feeling bad about themselves. So they go out and they try to make this look like what they're seeing on social media or online. And it's really not even real. It's basically someone has taken a picture and has, photoshopped their face to make it look so flawless. And people feel inadequate, and people feel that, now they need to run out and go get this look. And so they're going under the knife and that sort of thing. So we were talking about, that's Photoshop ethics, a law that they're actually trying to pass. And so we have been, kind of looking at different cons or whatever. Another one, and you guys, I'm just asking you all, what are some cons that I want to definitely get some more chat here. What are some cons that you feel with social media? What are some things? And if you were late joining us, what are the pros? What's your favorite thing about social media? Um, Another con is if your profile is not private, people can get private information about you. I don't know if you guys have had this, but right recently, and I think it's because I'm doing my show now, I have been getting, and I don't know how it's happening, phone calls in the middle of the night from like Middle Eastern countries. It's like Arabic words. And have you all had that experience that where people are calling you by, I guess, like, and I don't even know how, I guess they're calling me through like the instant messenger or something, but then they call continuously. And I'm just like, what? I don't even understand how they could call me. So I just block every time someone calls me, I just block them. But it's just really, I wish that I could block them before they call. But so that's something too. I don't have any private information out there like that, but whatever they can use to get to you, they'll try to use that. Amira says, I feel like social media is a way that sexual predators can get to children. Yes, Amira, it's not a feeling, baby. It's a fact. That is absolutely a fact. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I always tell people, always talk to your children about, the predators out there. They're tricking these kids to make them think that, they are actually their age, and they're getting information from them. One of my friends, she was telling me how her son, I think he's like maybe 8, he was on a gaming, with the headphones, and people from wherever can play this game. I think it's the Fortnite or whatever, but it's anybody can play this game against, the person who's playing. Different gamers out there. And she walks by his room and she doesn't know like exactly who he's playing against. Probably she thought it was like his friends or whatever, but it could always be somebody else too, like a predator. And she walks by his room and he says, yeah, I think my parents are leaving in just a little bit. And she's like, oh my God, who did you just say that to? Who's on this, on the headphone, who's on this game? And she's like telling him, like, people that are playing against you can act like they're, your age, but they could be like a predator, posing as a kid and trying to come and find you. So she had to like really break that whole thing down to him. And I thought that was so interesting. Thank God she was walking by his room and was able to hear. But Amir, you're absolutely right. And that's in sex trafficking is like at its highest peak that it's ever been, because of the, there's not much distance. It's not even hard anymore. You can just lure children in by telling them, hey, let's meet up here or there. Maybe quarantine has kind of put a halt to a lot of that activity, because now children are home with their parents more and it's more supervision. But absolutely, Amir, that was definitely a good one. So listen, guys, we're over our time a little bit, and I wanted to just thank you all for the chat. This was really actually a really, really good chat, and it was great hearing all of your different opinions and just ways that we can, with everything that we do, we can use it to benefit us, or we could use it to disadvantage us, right? So put us at a disadvantage. And so I just like that. I always try to look for the brighter side of things. And most people that I'm around, my circle, we do the same. But we just have to be mindful of other people that are out there that are trying to make something negative. They're bullying, they're, criticizing, they're like Cyrus said, they're dividing our country. They're using, hate to create division. Everything that's going on in the world today. We have to just be mindful that everything you got to take with a grain of salt, right? And it's just very interesting to hear everyone's opinions. Please, I'm gonna log out in a second. It's my daughter's birthday, so we're about to go party. She's turning 13 today. Everybody wish Yasmin a happy birthday. But listen, guys. Please join me on Thursday. It's going down. The party continues on the Radiant Faces Beauty and Self-Love Show at 7 o'clock every Thursday night it goes down. So listen, Amir says, yes, that is so scary. It is. But you know what? I'm sorry, Kiki said that. But we're gonna make the best of it, guys. I just wanted to hear your opinions. But join me on Thursday. We're gonna have an absolute fabulous time. We got such a great show lined up for you. And you guys, enjoy National Coffee Day. Go get you a beautiful, beautiful cup of coffee. And I'll see you on Thursday. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Mwah.